I'm Austine and Barrogo, and I'm here to analogize the cell's organelles to the imaginary city or place that I have created in the game Genshin Impact. I have created the imaginary place in the realm called Cool Isle. So expect that some things that you will see would be cool or extraordinary. This is a view of Haru City. What I'm going to do is tell the name of the objects and characters within the game and tell you which organelle it represents. First is the refined estate. This object represents the nucleus. Second is the refined estate's walls and door. This object represents the nuclear membrane. Surrounding it is the third object, which is the trellises. This object represents the endoplasmic reticulum. Fourth is the lush grapevines. This object represents the ribosomes. Fifth is Ningguang. This character represents the transport vesicle. Sixth is the spirits awaiting moonrise, along with the moon-crested eaves and the simple cargo cart. These objects represents the Golgi apparatus. 7 is the ballad spinning wind wheel. This object represents the mitochondria. 8 is Noelle. This character, along with the objects pocket-sized pin cabin and messy pile of fear crates, represents the vacuum. 9th is the striking sight. This object represents the cell wall. 10 is the carved courtyard fence. This object represents the cell membrane. 11 is Sayu. This character represents the lysosome. And last, the bloaty floaty. This object represents the chloroplast. The next thing is an organelle that is neither a character nor an object in the game. It is the cytoplasm. It is simply represented by the ground or the base. Moving on, I'll be explaining their functions one by one. First is the refined estate. In the game, it is the main building. It controls all the activities in Haru City. It is similar to the nucleus, which controls all the activities in a cell. Next is the refined estate's walls and door. It serves as a protection for Toby and Diluc. Now, you might be wondering who is this Toby and who is this Diluc that I'm talking about. So, let me give an explanation about these two. Toby is a teapot spirit. She's the one that directs all activities in Haru City, including expansion and creation of another main building should the city grow too large. Also, Toby keeps all the information of the whole city. She is similar to a chromosome, which directs all activities of the cell, such as reproduction and growth. Diluc, on the other hand, is a character in the game who owns and selects only the best variety of grapevines. He is similar to the nucleolus, which assembles the ribosomes. Take note that the ribosomes are represented by grapevines in the city. Next, the trellises. It is a wooden framework where the lush grapevines are bound. It is similar to the endoplasmic reticulum, as it is where the ribosomes are attached. Then, the lush grapevines provided by Diluc. It is responsible for producing grapes, similar to the ribosomes produced by the nucleolus that produces proteins. Next is the grape, which is the main product in the city. It is similar to the protein, which is the main product in a cell. And then, Ningguang. Her task is to collect the grapes and carry it. In a cell, Ningguang represents the transport vesicle that contains the proteins. Then, Ningguang places the grapes inside the moon-crested eaves, which functions in the game as a house. Within, the grapes are further processed. After that, it will be stored in the spirits awaiting moonrise, which functions in the game as a jar with bamboo casing. Then, the jar containing the grapes is placed in the simple cargo cart, which sends the grapes to the other parts of the city. Those three objects in the game represents the Golgi apparatus, which is responsible for further processing and storing the proteins before sending it in the other parts of the cell. Next is the Bloaty Floaty. In the game, it is a cool plant that harnesses the power of the wind. Its function is to produce or create wind, which is then converted into energy by the ballad spinning windwheel. The Bloaty Floaty represents the chloroplast, which manufactures food. And then, the ballad spinning windwheel represents the mitochondria that make or produce energy out of the food created by the chloroplast. Next is the carved courtyard fence. In the game, it surrounds the whole city to prevent it from unwelcome visitors. It is similar to a cell membrane that surrounds the cell to screen substances. Next, the striking sight. In the game, it acts as a second line of defense. It is similar to the cell wall, which serves as a second wall in order to add support. In the cell, the vacuole stores essential materials and disposes poisonous or harmful waste. In the game, it is represented by Noelle. She is a maid with the job of cleaning and disposing waste. And along her is the pocket-sized pin cabin and messy pile of fear crates that serves as a storage. And last, Sayu. In the game, she is a ninja and her job is to defend the city from invaders. She is similar to a lysosome which destroys bacteria and other microorganisms that invade the cell. Once again, I am Austine and Barrogo and this is my Cell City. Thank you for watching.